Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Little HK Knits Knitting Podcast. My name is Hillary, and today is the 29th of November, 2015. And I guess I should start out where you can find me. You can find me on Instagram as Little HK Knits, on Ravelry as Knitting by Hillary, and the show notes are on... Sorry, I just lost what I was saying. The show notes are on littlehkknits.wordpress.com, and all of those links will be in the description box below, and they will also be on Ravelry. And welcome to new and returning viewers. I thank you so much for joining me. And I guess with that, I'll give you a rundown of the episode today. So I'll be going over finished objects, works in progress, upcoming, week in review, and questions. So jumping right into the finished objects, I have 3 finished dishcloths. So the first one I have is dishcloth in the Violet Veil or Veil. I'm going with Violet Veil Ombre. So it's got a little, I don't know if you can see that. It's got some purple, some pink, or not pink, purple, blue, yellow, and some white. And it's like pastel colors. And I knit this out of the Lily Sugar and Cream cotton yarn on size 7 needles. And I have 2 more out of the Potapur Ombre. I'm not exactly sure how you say that. It's just like a cream color with little spots of light blue, pink, and purple. And this was also knit on the size 7 needles. And this is out of the Lily Sugar and Cream yarn as well. And then this is just another one of the little thing with purple, pink, and blue. So those are my knitted dishcloths for the week, and I hopefully will be knitting more of those. And another finished object is one of the cross bookmarks that I'm making for my Bible study's Christmas presents. So if any members of my Bible study are watching this, please look away now so you don't spoil your Christmas present, but I don't think any of them are watching, but just in case, look away now. So this is a little bookmark, and the pattern is the Cross of Jesus bookmark by Lakelon, and it is a free Ravelry pattern, and I'm knitting this out of the Yarn Bee Mimosa in the colorway blue, and I'm knitting this on size 2 needles. And this wasn't the yarn that I was actually planning on using. I was planning on using the Lion Brand ice cream shop in the Lemon Swirl colorway, but I went to my local craft store and they didn't have that color, or they didn't carry that yarn in any colorway. So I was like, well, okay. So I had to search around and find something because I only have about a week to get 7 bookmarks done, so time is ticking. So I just settled on this color, and it's I like this color. It's actually the color that was in the example. So I really like how it turned out, and it's got a little, and I did wash and block this, so it's a little bit more presentable, if that works. So yeah, so that's one more finished object. And then I have a knitted scarf that I actually started last year, and I just finished this past weekend. So this is made out of the Vanna's Choice yarn, and it has red, white, and blue colors. And I had originally found this pattern for the scarf just by searching around for doing charity knitting, and it came up on a website and it is a free pattern, and it is just a garter stitch scarf, and it has some embroidered, well, not embroidered, but like you knit in the letters, so it's got little letters. I'm not sure if you can see that. It's got a little letter S, or maybe the letter U would show up better. Yeah, the letter U shows up better. So yes, it's got like the letters U, S, and A in there for that. And then the scarves, you donate them, you send them to Washington D.C. and they give them to veterans. And I just thought it would be a really cool way just to do some charity knitting. And it's a very simple project, and the pattern is free. And yeah, so that was a really fun project, even though it took me a year because I had messed up with the colors. I had done, because they're supposed to be perfectly symmetrical, and I had messed up with the colors and put I had gone one too many colors times around, and it wouldn't be perfectly symmetrical, so I had to tear it all out. Well, not all of it, back to where I was, and then go from there. So I didn't really want to do that, so I just kind of put it away, and then I'd picked up where I'd left off on Friday evening. So then I finished it while watching some podcasts, and now I can finally say that I finished it, and I hope to be making some more, but I don't know when, because I have a lot of knitting to do for Christmas and whatnot. So that is on my list of things to do in the not in the near future, but sometime in the future, to make another one of those scarves, because I do have some leftover yarn. So that would be really fun, or just to make a hat out of the leftover yarn, because it is so soft and squishy. So hopefully I can find something to do with that. And now going to the works in progress. And I don't seem to have my works in progress, so I guess I'll just tell you. It is another one of these bookmarks, and I'm about here on the bookmark, so I only have a couple of rows left, and then I can cast that one off and make another one. And that is on the size 2 knitting needles, and I'm using the Yarn Bee Mimosa in the blue colorway. So only one works in progress this week, and then I guess a partial work in progress. I just have to finish weaving in the ends of, this is one of, I don't know, a pillow that I'm making, and I'm sorry if the letters come up backward, because this is supposed to be the letter C for my cousin Caitlin. She just got engaged a couple of months ago, and I wanted to make her and her fiance each a pillow with their initials on it. So this is, and they like camouflage and stuff like that. So I figured, oh, I have plenty of camouflage yarn, so I was gonna make pink and camouflage for my cousin Caitlin, and then a green and camouflage for her fiance, and then put white lettering. So I just have to go buy a craft pillow, or just like a pillow, and weave in the ends and sew it together, and hopefully I will have this done by next week so I can show you, because I really want to get this one done, because it's been sitting in my room for quite some time. And yeah, so that's one more finished object, or finished object / works in progress. And then one more works in progress that I am currently working on. I figured out how to make the sock blanks for dyeing yarn, and I know I do it the time-consuming way, because I have not been able to find a knitting machine. So I was gifted the circle looms. I think that's what they're called, or they may be called something else, but I'm not quite sure. So I was gifted these, and I'm just using it just to go around the little thing and make my little sock yarn. And then I have already done one sock yarn dyeing, so I will show that in the acquisitions, and I hope this one will get done sometime soon, but I still have quite a lot of yarn left to knit. And and this yarn is just some simple red heart, heart and soul yarn in the ivory colorway, since my local craft store had it on sale. And I thought, oh well, I can try my hand at yarn dyeing. And I'm not gonna lie, the first time I did yarn dyeing, it actually turned out pretty cool. I used the Kool-Aid and just mixed it with water and popped it in the microwave, but I'll get into that more after, or in the acquisitions. So then going into the upcoming projects, sorry. I'm still knitting a lot of dishcloths, and then I still have a lot of bookmarks to make, and I also plan on selling the dishcloths, which I did talk to my aunt this past weekend at our family Thanksgiving, and she thought that the dishcloths were a great idea to sell, and she told me to get them down there as soon as possible. So I'll be going home on Wednesday and hopefully getting to put them out on Thursday morning. So that should be fun. And then I also thought of selling bookmarks, only not with the cross in them, but just like the simple bookmarks, because they're quick and simple, and people can always use a bookmark. And thought I would find some fun little patterns and get some fun yarn and just knit a couple of the, well, not a couple, but a lot of these up and sell them too, just to give it some variation. So I was able to find some yarn at the local craft store when I was shopping. I like to go shopping at the craft stores. And I'd found this really cute little fingering weight yarn, and it was on, well, not on sale, but it was on the cheaper price range, because if I have to make a lot of them, I don't really want to spend a whole lot of money, because I'm doing this for a fundraiser for to go to a month-long conference up in Michigan. If you're not from the United States, then Michigan is up in the northern part of the United States, so it's right up there next to Canada, surrounded by all the Great Lakes. And so yeah, that it's very costly, so I was gonna make the bookmarks and the dishcloths and try to raise some money for that, so hopefully that all goes well. And I was planning on selling the dishcloths. I was gonna sell them for $5 a piece, but then I'm like, no, people aren't gonna buy those because that's too much. And then I was talking myself into doing like $4, but then I ended up talking myself into $3 when my aunt asked me how much I was selling them for, because I'm like, $3? Because people can go to Walmart and buy a dishcloth for $1.50, even though it won't last, but these are a good quality, so I thought $3 was good, and I'll just like dress them up in some little ribbon and fold them and put them in a nice basket to make it look more appealing. So yay! So hopefully that all goes well. And I guess another upcoming project, when I was in the local craft store last night, my mom and I were picking up a picture that we had framed, which I will take a picture of that and hopefully put it in the next episode, because it is super, super cool. But I'll get into that more next week. So my mom was checking out, and I was wandering down the yarn aisle. Coincidence. And I was just looking at all the yarn, seeing if I could find the yarn that I went there to look for, but no, they didn't have it. And then she spotted this bamboo spun yarn, which I already have one skein of the bamboo spun yarn. It's like purple, green, and I think some white in there maybe. And she was just looking around, and she saw this, it's got like some dark blue, some purple, and some dark yellow. It's like little spots of it. And she thought that that was a really cool looking yarn. So I'm like sitting there, I'm like, okay, you like this yarn. So then I kind of like hung back a little bit, and I was picked it up and then I picked up another, some purple and some gray and kind of put it together, and I'm like, oh, now that would make a nice scarf because it's the fluffy kind of yarn. So I'm like, okay, so I'm hoping to make that for her for Christmas. So hopefully that goes well, and I was able to get some coupons for 40% off of the yarn in our newspapers, and that comes out every weekend on Sunday, so yay! And then I was also able to, well, I'll get more into that in the acquisitions. And I guess another thing is the violet waffles hat, which I had just found this on Friday night. I was watching the Knitting X-Pact podcast with Mina, and she said that she had made the violet waffles hat, and after looking at it, I'm like, oh, I want to make that. That looks cool. So then I looked up the pattern, and I just have to go buy some longer needles in the circular needles because I only have the little short needles with the little cable thing, because I make the socks on a 9-inch cable needle, or not cable, circular needle. I cannot talk today clearly. And so once I do that, then I have some yarn that I was going to hopefully use that I had won on an Instagram giveaway. Yeah, so that is all of my upcoming projects. And now into my acquisitions, which, as I have said before in the podcast, I have went shopping this weekend, and I did lots of shopping. I got lots and lots of yarn. So I guess the first skein of yarn that I bought was at my local local craft store, since they carry a lot of the cotton yarn in the fun little patterns. So I just got a skein of the I Love This Cotton. It's just the Hobby Lobby brand, and it is in the ivory colorway, and it is a 100-gram ball. So that is going to be made into dishcloths. Yay! And I bought this one just in case I didn't have enough to go around to make 2 of these dishcloths in the buttercup print, which this is also this is an 85-gram ball. So this one hopefully can go with this one in case I don't have enough to make 2 dishcloths out of this, but hopefully I should have enough. But if not, I have some backup. And then I bought this Christmas print, which I also think that this yarn is a Christmas print, even though it's a little bit different than this one. But I like this one personally. So going back to the Christmas print, which this one is actually the I Love This Cotton Christmas print. Coincidence? And this is also an 85-gram ball, so this will also be made into dishcloths. And I just picked up this one just because I liked it, not because I needed it, but technically I do need all of the cotton yarn that I can get. So this one is the River Run colorway, and it has like variegated light blue, aqua blue, some lime green, some dark green, and some, I think that might be orange, like a burnt orange or something like that, I think. So that one is, I think this one's probably one of my favorites, just because I like the colors. And I have 2 more. So I tend to buy the giant things of the cotton yarn, because then I can get so much more out of it instead of buying just a little simple 85-gram skeins. Then I can just get the 340 or the 400-gram skeins, so I can make a whole bunch more instead of having to spend the $1.99 or $2.29 depending on what store I go to, and be only able to make 1.5 dishcloths and then have to go buy more. So with these I can make a whole lot. So this colorway that I got is the Pink Dusk, and it is it's by Lily Sugar and Cream, and it is 340 grams. So this should be able to make a lot of dishcloths. Yay! And yes, I was able to get this one for 50% off yesterday because they had a coupon for Black Friday, 50% off any one regular priced item. So I was like, oh, I have to go shopping for yarn because I need it. So then I was able to get that. And then I was able to get one more because my grandma had given me her 50% off coupon because she wasn't going to use it. And I was able to get this yarn. I don't know if you can see that. Focus. There we go. And this one is in the Crown Jewels Ombre colorway. So it's got some purple, some maroon, some teal, and some light blue. And I think this one will be also a very pretty dishcloth. And this is also 340 grams. So yay! Yay for Black Friday coupons and for yarn shopping. And now onto my favorite yarn. This is the yarn that I made out of the sock blank. So I dyed this with Kool-Aid and it turned out amazing. I'm very happy with how this turned out. I just used the simple Kool-Aid, went to the grocery store, bought I think 12 things of Kool-Aid because they had a deal going on. If you buy like 10 you get 2 or 3 free. So I got this and I just put it into the thing and just made red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple and just put it all in there and popped it in the microwave and let it dry, or rinsed it and let it dry, and yeah, and then wound it into a little ball. The way that I found out about yarn dyeing with Kool-Aid was I was just watching a YouTube video. I think it was by Chem Knits, and she was doing the thing with the knitting machine, which I wish I had one of those, but oh well. I consider that I really did work hard to make this yarn. And yeah, so I watched her video and I just thought, well, okay, I'm gonna give this a try. I wasn't exactly sure how it was gonna turn out, but it turned out pretty great, I think. So here's a little close-up. Yeah, it's got some, yes, and it smells amazing. Because it smells like it's got all of the Kool-Aid flavors and it smells good. And that is all of my acquisitions for this week. And I guess moving on to my week in review. I had a short week of school this week. Hooray! But I had a math test for pre-calc, so that's always fun. So I spent a majority of my time studying for that, and I hope that went well. I haven't gotten it back yet. But then this past week was Thanksgiving, and my family tends to have their Thanksgiving either before or after, but this year we ended up having it after Thanksgiving. So my mom, my dad, and a few other people went out to, there's this restaurant who has the Thanksgiving dinners, and it's for people who don't like, or who don't have anybody to celebrate Thanksgiving with, and we just went there, and we had our Thanksgiving dinner since my mom didn't feel like cooking an entire Thanksgiving dinner, and yeah, and we just made a little donation saying thank you for helping us celebrate Thanksgiving, and yes, so that was a lot of fun. Yeah, and then I ate way too much food, but I'll get into that later. And then after that, my mom took this one lady that she takes care of, and we went over to this place in Delavan. It's called the Lakelon Resort, which they have buffets for Christmas, Thanksgiving, Easter, Mother's Day, and anything else like that. And we just went over there just to look at the little shops that they have. And we'd actually bought something last year, and it was a Christmas decoration, so we didn't really want to pick it up yet. But then we ended up, okay, we're going to pick it up now, because it's been there for quite some time. And so we ended up getting that. And then we went Black Friday shopping. Hooray, Black Friday shopping. And this is only my 3rd year going Black Friday shopping. So it wasn't too bad. The first year I went Black Friday shopping, it was a madhouse. We went to the local mall, and we went to Target, and the line was all the way around the store. So it was just, I didn't enjoy it that much. But the past 2 years I've gone with my mom, and we've only gone to one store, Target. So last year I wanted a camera, and then we ended up buying a printer and a few other things. And this year, also we went to Target. And this year there actually wasn't a whole lot of people. Because we went there, the stores opened at 6 o'clock on Thanksgiving Day. I know, that's crazy. Whatever happened to opening at like midnight on Friday, or like 3 a.m. or something like that. But I guess, they just want to open up earlier and earlier. So we went there so they opened up at 6, and I went there with my mom at about 8 o'clock, and there was not that many people. There was a lot of people in the electronics department getting like their TVs and all that stuff. But my mom wanted a camera, since the camera I got last year, she really liked it, and I'm like, okay, well, we'll get you one too. And then I saw in there, in the little Black Friday advertisements, that they had the Fitbits, the new the Charge HR, which is like the newest one, and I really wanted that, and it said that they were on sale for $119, so I'm like, oh, I must get it. And then I looked, and I'm like, oh, they opened up at 6 o'clock. Oh, there's probably not any there. So we went and got the camera, and then I was gonna wander down to the sporting goods section and see if they had any more Fitbits. And to my good fortune, they had a Fitbit in my size, and it was even in the color purple, which is what I wanted. So yay! And then my mom decided to get one too, so we have the exact same size in the exact same color. So this should be interesting. But I'll probably just keep mine on my wrist the entire time, and then just not take it off so it can't get mixed up. So yay! And then I also got some pajamas with feet, which I'm known for wearing footy pajamas because they keep my feet warm. And yeah, because I'm always cold, so I just enjoy wearing the footy pajamas. So I got 2 pairs of those, and yeah, that was all of my Black Friday shopping. And then there was a restaurant right next door to Target, and my mom and I were hungry, so we're like, okay, we're just gonna go eat. So we went and ate another Thanksgiving meal, and then we had pumpkin pie, but we ended up taking it home. And then, yeah, we went home and just watched Christmas movies. So, yay, Christmas movies! Which we have the Hallmark Channel on our TV, so we're able to watch Christmas movies like all year. Well, maybe not all year, but a majority of the time. And yeah, so I just enjoy watching the Christmas movies, even though they are like, you know what's gonna happen in the end. Like, the guy's gonna fall in love with a girl, and then they get married, and then, and then it goes on from there. But I don't know, I just like those Christmas movies just because they always have a happy ending. So, and I'm a very, I guess, kind of like the sappy, romantic type of person. I like to watch the cute little Christmas movies and just, watch. So that, it's just, I don't know. I like watching the Christmas movies just because Christmas is my favorite holiday. So I guess going off of the Christmas tangent, I'm going back to Thanksgiving. And then on Friday night, not Saturday, Friday night, my mom and I were baking cookies. Well, actually, I was the one that was baking the cookies because my mom had her family Thanksgiving on Saturday, and that family is like 83 people. So when you make food for that, you make a lot of food. and I think I ended up making, I think I made 60 sugar cookies, and I think my mom made like 20 because I got tired of cooking or like cutting or rolling the dough, cutting the cookies and putting them in the oven because it just takes too long. Plus, our oven is not the greatest. We're waiting on a new oven and a dishwasher since both of our things don't work. I mean, the oven works, it just tends to burn the food a lot, so it's always a great thing. So then we frosted the cookies, and like there were pumpkins and turkeys, so that was always fun. And yeah, and then I made sweet potatoes, which we just put them in a big pan and boiled them, and then peeled the skins off, and then I put them in my mom's KitchenAid mixer and just kind of mashed them all up in there. And yes, and sweet potatoes are my favorite form of potato, just because they're sweet and they're orange. And yeah, so that was my week in review. So yay! And then I guess going into last week when I said I would mention what podcasts I enjoy watching, I completely forgot to mention that. And I just realized that when I was writing up the show notes. And I'm like, oh no, I didn't say what podcasts I'm watching. So I'm making it a point to do it this week. So the podcasts that I'm currently watching are the Knitting X Pact podcast with Mina. And I just stumbled upon this podcast over the summer, and I only have 4 more episodes until I'm all caught up. So hooray! Yay! And I just love her podcast. She always has just the most creative projects, and I just love hearing about all the yarn that she's bought and about her traveling. And I also like it when she has her 2 cats, Hugo and Derek. I enjoy when they come on camera because they're just so cute. And another one that I enjoy watching is the Colorful Creativity podcast. And I just like how, and that one is with, I'm sorry if I'm not going to pronounce this name correctly, Caroline. I think it's Caroline. And she is making this, or was making this crocheted blanket, and it's like stripes of yarn, or different stripes of color, and I just thought it was really cool seeing each week how she progressed with that, and it was just really, really cool. And she's a relatively new podcaster, so she doesn't have many episodes, so you should check her out. She's really very interesting. And just another podcast that I just discovered today is the Knits podcast. So I was just searching around YouTube for new knitting podcasts since I'm almost caught up with the other podcasts that I'm watching. So I wanted to find another one. And it's a very cool podcast. He's a very young knitter, and he wants to form a club and teach others how to knit. So I thought that was really cool. How he wants to share the knitting with others, and just like the amount of yarn that he's bought in, it's like, wow, I admire that you're able to buy that much yarn and put it to good use. So I'm like, yay, that's so cool. So I'm only 1 episode in, and I hope that I can catch up with a podcast sometime this week so that I can start watching more podcasts. So I guess that brings me to the questions part of the podcast. So the question for you guys this week is, what is your favorite pie flavor? Since last week was Thanksgiving, and almost everyone likes pie, I think. So you can comment in the Ravelry thread for the episode. I would love to hear from you. And if you have any comments or things that you would like to see done differently with the podcast, I will be more than happy to hear from you. And as always, thank you for watching. And I guess I'll do a recap of where you can find me. You can find me on Instagram as Little HK Knits, and that also goes for YouTube. Ravelry as Knitting by Hillary, and you can find the show notes at littlehknits.wordpress.com. And yeah, so that brings me to the end of my episode. So thank you for joining me, and I hope you have a great week and enjoy all of the knitting that you're doing. And I hope to see you again next week. So thank you. Bye.